if the world ends in 7 years, what 3 things would you want to see take place in Colorado sports the most before, we go the way of the dinosaur?
Before we become fossils?
Pretty much.
Look, before we start this, if this is coming true and we're getting closer to it, Zach, I'm not coming into work.
Oh, I already know.
I'm not coming into work. I'm taking my family and we're traveling the world.
I was just asking, what would you do? So
I'm not going to blow the money because if there's a chance that we end up surviving,
yeah,
then you have to have some money. So I'm not going to go crazy.
Yeah.
I might have to try to rob a bank or something, but that's something I'm going to have to decide on. I'm not going to jail because everybody's been running around.
Right.
So, but I'm going to do what I need to do and enjoy my family. Like if I know that the world is ending.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this doesn't take place. All right.
You coming in?
Yeah, but I probably work 2-3 days a week. I'm going to be outside with my family. I'm going to be bebopping around, playing a bunch of golf, calling everyone that has ever meant anything to me, saying goodbye, thanking them.
Yeah, for sure. And everybody that I don't like, I'm calling them too.
There you go. Tell them how you feel. Who's on that list?
Zach Bye number
1. So, with this backdrop in mind here, and you guys can Google this for yourself here. This report.
Yeah, you're not making this up.
No. That this asteroid, and again, it's about to disappear because the path. I think it's gonna hook around the sun, so we're not gonna be able to see it for a couple of years, and then the next time we see it, it's we're going to have more clarity of are we talking 3%, 0%, 17%? What are we doing? So the question I have here is if the world does in fact end in 7 years, what 3 things would you want to see take place in Colorado sports the most before it ends? What comes to mind?
Yeah. I this is a dream of mine now. I'm going to kind of go into make-believe world, but also not. It could happen, but I'm hoping it happens. If I'm leaving this earth, I want this to happen. I want the Denver Broncos, my number one wish, the Denver Broncos to be the first team to three-peat.
Oh.
I want them to be the first team to three-peat. We talked about, hey, we had the 4 legs of the chair. You have the ownership, you have the quarterback, the general manager, and you have the coach. And if Bo Nix ends up panning out to be who we think he can be and competing with the Chiefs. I would love to see that. I would love to see the Denver Broncos being the first to ever do that, not the Chiefs. The Chiefs had the opportunity. It's gone. Now Denver has an opportunity. Now I know everybody else in the world has an opportunity, but what I'm saying is for Denver is I would love for us to be able to have that opportunity. We almost had it back in the day.
Almost,
can we do it?
Once upon a time. Yeah. And I do wonder if, and I haven't heard him say this at all, but I do wonder if John Elway came back in 1999. That roster was so loaded. And again, you're never sure how it's going to work. And there's a reason why no team has literally ever three-peated.
Yeah.
So maybe the Broncos would have fallen short like every other team that's ever tried after going back-to-back. But
they would have had their best chance if Elway would have decided to come back.
But also, if you remember Shanahan tried to get Steve Young.
Yeah.
And Steve Young said not joining the team in 99 was one of the biggest regrets of his career. And I've heard other people.
Good pull.
Yep.
That's a good pull.
And I've heard other people say, well, that would have never happened. And I don't know. Mike Shanahan said he was all in on it. I trust Mike Shanahan when it comes to football. So if Mike Shanahan was all in on it and Steve Young said it's one of the biggest regrets he's ever had,
Denver could have been the first team to three-peat.
And what if they did it with 2 different Hall of Fame quarterbacks with Steve Young entering the fold in year number 3?
Hey, that's Denver Broncos for you. That's Denver Broncos for you, man. That's what we do. So, that's hey, that's my dream.
Sure.
If we're going to go out, let's go out with a bang, guys. Come on. I'm going to be watching you, but I'm also going to be on a Hawaii Island or something like that, enjoying life.
Yes.
But I'm still going to be watching.
So if the world ends in 7 years from this asteroid that NASA now says has over 3% chance to hit Earth, you want a Broncos three-peat. So I wasn't so when I thought about this, I'm like,
I'm going into detail, baby.
Well, I was like, what do I want to see? And technically you check this box too. But I was like, what would I want to see that we haven't seen yet? So we've seen the Denver Broncos win a Super Bowl.
But we haven't seen them win 3.
Haven't seen them win 3. That's why I said yours actually checks that box.
Okay.
All right. And obviously, that'd be great. Could have the parade, watch the asteroid come down upon us while we're popping champagne. That's certainly one way to go out.
So what would you be? What's your number one?
You know what the number one thing that came to my mind with this exercise is, like, what would I want to happen in the next 7 years before the world ends that has never happened and feels like it doesn't even live within the realm of possibility? And that is the Colorado Rockies winning a World Series. And I imagine what this state, and not even just this state, but this region of the United States, because really, Denver, Colorado, it's more than just one place. It really represents a region that around where we live doesn't have a lot of pro sports teams. So a lot of people who live in Wyoming are Bronco fans. And that's how it goes. And I think that a Rockies World Series, based on a couple things, what everyone tells me that this town was like during Rocktober, and then based off my own experiences in 2017 and 18, where they were going to the playoffs, Coors Field was sold out on Tuesday and Wednesday nights. They had 4 or 5 All-Stars. They were appointment television, and I got swept up in it to a crazy degree.
This is a baseball state, man. Like, literally, if the Rockies could ever just be good again, like, we would all get to see, and you've seen it a little bit, but, like, get to the World Series, that'd be awesome. And maybe if we, and I know Dante doesn't agree with me, but maybe if we put a cap on this baseball stuff when it comes to money, it puts us all at an even playing field again. And so you have that opportunity before we all end up in the ground.
Yeah.
Maybe, just maybe. See,
maybe.
I was a little bit more sarcastic. Like, I'm living in the realm of reality, Zach. So for me with the Rockies, because Rockies was on my list, I was like, Rockies just to be relevant again, to be able to have fun, to be able to go to the ballpark, get a hot dog, maybe a couple beers, enjoy the scenery, but watch some really good baseball. I know it's hard to win a World Series, and maybe I should be shooting for the stars, but just be relevant, man.
Well, in this case, the stars are literally coming to us and smashing us to oblivion.
We're going to be able to touch them.
Yes.
Just be relevant. I just want to be able to enjoy a day at the ballpark with the Colorado Rockies winning games.
Where a win or loss means something.
Yeah, give me 94 games, all right? If you win 94 games, have a chance to go to the playoffs.
Oh, they'll be in the playoffs at 94.
All right, look, then I'm happy.
Yeah.
Then I'm happy.
So basically, you'd be willing to go back to how things were in 2017 and 18.
Yes.
It was so exciting, dude. It really was. And as we're heading into 2019, okay, and Dante is a part of our show. You hear every day, Dante Gomez. But Dante's father was Pedro Gomez, okay? And he came on our airwaves and picked the Rockies to go to the World Series. That's something that happened. He came on these airwaves and said the Rockies are going to represent the NL in the World Series. I'll remember that for the rest of my life because I always looked up to, obviously, Pedro.
That's crazy.
That was like,
that's crazy.
But that's where we were with the Rockies.
Yeah.
And so your wish over the next 7 years before this asteroid slams into Earth would be the Rockies be relevant again. I had the Rockies winning a World Series.
And that's better. But I'm just saying, like, let's just have a good baseball team so that we can talk about them at least every day. Talk about them. We can't even talk about them because it's like, what is there to talk about? Chris Bryant getting robbed because that's what happened? Like, it's just like, man, like, give us something to chew on.
Yeah.
And so we can talk and discuss about it.
And I'm seeing here on the RamosLaw.com text line people telling me the size of the asteroid and that it might not be an extinction event for Earth.
It might wipe out, like,
a huge city.
Yeah.
But not an extinction event. So, but let's not get into details too far. We got an asteroid headed to Earth, okay? So, and according to them, 2032 would be the strike date. That gives us 7 years to get stuff done, okay? So if you're ever going to clean out the garage, do it, all right? So anything else, what else comes to mind that you would want to happen in the next 7 years in Denver sports?
And this is something that has happened already, and we're talking about, I had one for the Denver Broncos, for the Colorado Rockies, and now for the Denver Nuggets. And yes, the Nuggets have won a championship, and Jokic has won a championship. But I want more. I want more for Jokic. So mine, I was thinking a little outside the box. So my wish is Jokic to become the face of the NBA, since we talked about it, since I know that some people don't want that to happen, and win at least 2 more championships and 4 more MVPs. So he's
four more in addition to
Yes.
the 3 that he has.
Yes, because who has the most MVPs right now?
Oh
in
my
NBA
gosh.
history.
Oh, hold on a second. You're putting me on the spot here.
Yes, sir, but I know
Hold-
you know
hold-
this.
Wait, hold on. Do you know the answer?
I do.
Okay, hold on a second. Who's got the most MVPs in NBA history? I think. Is it Kareem
Yes.
with 6?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And
Mike
so-
has 5, Kareem has 6. Okay.
Exactly. And so if you get 4, because Jokic has, and I'm not great at math, guys, but Jokic has 3 of them things so far. MVPs, we're talking. You add four more, it puts him over.
Yeah.
Kareem.
Yeah.
And that's my wish for the Denver Nuggets for Jokic.
I like it. For my next one, but before we move on though, you want to know what's I'm thankful for. If we did this segment 10 years ago, okay, and we heard from NASA that there's a 3% chance that this asteroid is going to hit in 2022 instead of 2032, and we're doing this segment 10 years back, having the Denver Nuggets win a title would be on the list.
Yeah.
Much like the Rockies winning a World Series, you think it's something that would be impossible to accomplish. The NBA's setup forever was big market teams, big players joining big market teams for even in this recent 20-year period, like super teams. So if we were doing this 10 years ago, it'd be like the Denver Nuggets. And I heard it when I first got here in 2017. I worked with hosts that would say definitively the Denver Nuggets will never win a championship, that the league is set up against teams like Denver and more in favor of teams like the Miami Heats, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Chicago Bulls, these big, especially the coastal cities.
And then we had perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
And it's all to
Shedeur
perfect timing.
Sanders.
Where's the
Perfect timing.
It's one of these things where Jokic changed everything.
Yeah.
Jokic, one man, his presence and some due diligence in their scouting department, finding Jokic. I'm into Mike Singer's Why So Serious book. So I'm 26 chapters in. I started it on Friday.
How you liking it?
Quick question. First of all, I'm loving it. It's brilliant. It's so good. I'm learning so much. But sidebar, can I say that I've read a book or 26 chapters of a book if I'm actually listening to it instead?
Yes. Yes, like that's the new way to do things.
So I'm able to say,
you know how to read?
if I'm able to say, yes, of course.
Okay.
I'm able to say, hey, I got through a book in a weekend, and like not provide further context. Like, yeah, I got through that book in a weekend. Is that fair? Is that fair to say?
I would say yes. I would say like it's the e-read or whatever. Somebody's talking to you and reading it to you like a bedtime story. I'm okay with that.
Dante, is that fair if I come in on like a Monday, like, yeah, I got through a book in a weekend, but it's an audio
I don't
book.
think so. I mean, that's like if I watch the Harry Potter movies. That's not like I read the books. It's the same thing.
But you watch the movies.
Yeah, I'm literally getting the book read to me. So I am.
Yeah, but you're not reading. You're saying I read.
Well, no. But I purposefully didn't say that. I'll do it again. Yeah, I got through that book in a weekend.
Yeah? Was it a real page turner? Yeah. Was it hardcover or soft?
Hardcover, paper cuts.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like if you don't say I got through that book this weekend. Yeah.
I would never say, hey, I had somebody read it to me, or I listened to that book. I would just say I read it.
But that's the way now.
That's the way. Change.
Anyway, Jokic changed everything. That would have been on just about everyone's list with this exercise. And if you're just joining us, NASA says that there's a better than 3% chance that an asteroid hits the world here in 2032. The probability has doubled here in the last month. So we're figuring out if you had to identify things that you would want to take place in almost like a dream scenario in Denver sports over the next 7 years before it smacks into Colorado and ends us all, what would it be? And so you had the Broncos three-peating. I had the Rockies winning a World Series. The one with the Broncos that I had, and again, just thinking about it a little differently than you, because the Broncos have won Super Bowls, plural. They've had 3 different parades.
Yep.
It was like, what would I want to see happen with the Broncos that hasn't already been done? And technically yours was never been done, the three-peat. I would love to see Bo Nix win a league MVP.
A league MVP.
League MVP. A league MVP, the way that John Elway did in 1997, the way that, or I said 1997, 1987, and I think TD did it in 1998. If Bo Nix was the MVP of the NFL, think about that. The sixth quarterback taken, the quarterback that Todd McShay said half the league had a second-round grade. I think that would be my Broncos' wish. If the world was truly ending, and I wasn't going to pick something that had been done already, I would want to see the Oregon Duck, Bo Nix, win a league MVP.
See that, and I like that, and it's cute. All right, but it's very selfish. That's why I had to put with Jokic. Like I put something with Jokic, and I said I want him to win 4 MVPs.
You don't want that for Bo?
I do. As long as we get a Super Bowl to come with it.
You didn't do the championships
yes,
with Jokic?
I did. I said right here. Let me read it again.
Yeah,
I'm not going to e-read. I'm gonna read it to you. I said I want him to become the face of the NBA, which we're talking about Jokic, and win at least 2 more championships. That means it's not just benefiting Jokic, it's benefiting the
So he's
Denver
got
Nuggets.
3 titles and the most
3
MVPs
titles.
ever.
And the most MVPs ever.
Yeah.
You just won an MVP for Bo. Shame on you. Shame on
I
you.
do want it for Bo. I do want it for Bo. This goes back to August. What's the number 1 goal of the season? You said win as many games as possible.
Win.
I said let's develop Bo Nix. We both got our wish. Okay. Dante, you got one here? If the world was going to end here in the next 7 years, what would you want to see happen in Colorado sports?
I would like to see Coach Prime and CU win a national title.
I can't believe it took you to say that and not Phil.
Well, hey, one of us is a real buff and one of us not, I guess.
Wow. If CU and Prime won a national championship.
Yeah, I guess I didn't think about that. So, yeah, you guys should shame me. That would be cool, man.
Be next level. I can't imagine. You know what did cross my mind in doing this? And it wasn't, I didn't want to prioritize it in a way that would usurp a Rocks World Series or Bo Nix winning an MVP. And this is like a little bit out of left field. But if CSU and CU were both excellent at the same time, and we had real debates about who the alpha dog in college football was in the state of Colorado, I think that'd be pretty freaking cool.
I mean, I guess that's for you. We all know who's always going to be the alpha dog. Them Buffaloes, baby. Not the Rams.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Not Cam the Ram.
But it would be my wish. I mean, how fun would that be? In addition to our pro sports, if we had 2 programs that are already kind of rivals, but one is a definitive big brother, and that's CU.
Yeah, for sure. It's fun. It's fun if you're having those competitions as long as CU ends up on top.
Have you read Dion's book yet?
The Elevate one?
The Elevate one. Yeah.
No, not yet. I'm getting to it. I'll highlight some and a couple there. Have you?
You have a bunch of other books that you need to get through first before you read Dion's?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to skim through them.
Okay. I may have to put that on a poll. If you go through an audiobook and have someone read you a book, does that count as you having a book under your belt?
It's like listening to a podcast. That doesn't count.
Why? You're taking the time to do it.
Well, because when you tell someone you listen to a podcast, it's like, oh, like that's just like entertainment. But when you tell someone you read a book, that's like, oh, that guy's learning.
But you're not. But I am learning.
Yeah,
I am. Like I learned
Everybody
50
learns different.
things about Jokic listening to this book, and I never said that I read it.
Yeah, but there's like a connotation to when you say book. Yeah, but you're saying the word book in the sentence, and there's no physical book.
Look, I'm a visual learner. I can listen and I want to see it. That's why I'm going to listen to the book and then I'm going to watch the movie.
No,
Like,
I'm with you. I would rather listen any day, but I'm just saying you don't get the title of reading a book.
But I'm not claiming to have read a book.
You don't get the title of going through a book if there's no physical book.
I went through a book. I have all the information that the book has to offer underneath my belt. That is on my resume. That book has been had.
Yes.
We all lie a little bit on our resume. I'm with it, actually. You know what? I'm in.
This was coming from someone who about 2 months ago, and I'm like, well, he's an Arizona State grad. And you go, let's change it to alma mater.
Yeah.
Like, wait a second. Whoa.
I never lied, though.
No, neither did I. Never said I read a book. I got through a book. 26 chapters of it anyway. So, all right.
Chapters or pages?
Chapters.
Oh.
Chapters. Not claiming to do something I didn't do.
I like it.
All right. May have to put that